students. Today we're going to be working on a writing strategy called sentence branching. So sentence branching can be used to revise your first drafts to give your writing more rhythm. So typically when we start with the first draft, our sentences tend to be the same. So we usually have kind of 6 or 7 words and then a period, and then another sentence, 6 or 7 words, then a period. So this strategy helps give your papers more interest. So we'll start with a simple sentence like this one. I took my dog for a walk. So how sentence branching works is you can branch your sentences at the beginning, middle, or end of the sentence. And you use a comma to break up your sentences. Okay? So for example, we can add something at the beginning of the sentence, blank, comma, I took my dog for a walk, period. So something that could be added at the beginning could be, for instance, yesterday, comma, I took my dog for a walk. Okay, so we've branched the sentence at the beginning. Okay, another way to branch our sentence is by adding something in the middle. So in this case, you can use 2 commas to describe something or add some more information into your sentence. So in this case, I could say, I took my dog, comma, blank, another comma, for a walk. So in this instance, because right before I have my clause in between the 2 commas, I'm going to describe something about my dog, because the dog comes right before my blank. So I could say, describe my dog visually, or something about his mannerisms or his characteristics. So I took my dog, a shaggy black poodle, for a walk. I took my dog, comma, a shaggy black poodle, comma, for a walk. Okay, so the information in between the 2 commas aren't necessary to make it a complete sentence, but it adds information for your reader. In this case, it creates a visual of my dog for the person reading my sentence, and it breaks up the rhythm. I took my dog for a walk. Now it's, I took my dog, you give a bit of a pause, a shaggy black poodle, bit of a pause, for a walk. So that's how we introduce rhythm into our writing. Now the last type of sentence branching we can do is branching at the end. So adding something after comma at the end of the sentence. I took my dog for a walk. Okay. And again, you can add a comma and add something about the walk, for instance, because now the walk is right before our branching, right? So in this case, we want to add something, some more information about our walk. So I took my dog for a walk, hoping the weather would be nice, hoping my dog wouldn't get dirty, something like that. So I'll say, I took my dog for a walk, comma, hoping he wouldn't jump into a puddle. Okay, so just as a recap, we can branch at the beginning, the middle, or the end of a sentence, okay? So you're breaking up the sentence. So you don't have to do this for every single sentence, say if you're writing a paragraph or if you're writing an entire paper. But it is important not to just have simple sentences like this one throughout your papers, okay? 6 or 7 to 8 words and just a period with no commas or any sort of punctuation. Okay, everyone, now we're going to look at a longer piece of writing. I've written a paragraph here, and we're going to pick out the simple sentences in the paragraph and see how we can use sentence branching to make our paragraph have more rhythm, provide more information, and be more interesting. So here's our paragraph. Yesterday, I took my dog for a walk. He was very happy. My dog jumped in all of the puddles we saw. The weather was very nice. We both got covered in mud from head to toe, but it was worth it. When we got home, I gave my dog a bath. So let's go through and choose the sentences that are more simple and that we could use our branching strategy to make more interesting. So here we have yesterday, comma, I took my dog for a walk. You see that I've already given a sentence. I've already branched this sentence a little bit. There's still maybe more we could add to it, but this one's pretty good. He was very happy, period. This is quite a short sentence and it isn't very interesting. He was very happy. Okay, so what? So let's underline this one because I think we can improve this sentence with sentence branching. My dog jumped in all of the puddles we saw. Also, this doesn't have a lot of rhythm to it, and we could provide more information with sentence branching. So let's underline this one. My dog jumped in all of the puddles we saw. The weather was very nice. This is also quite a simple sentence. We don't have any other punctuation. It's about 7 words and only a period. Underline this one. We both got covered in mud from head to toe, but it was worth it. Here, this is a longer sentence. We have a comma. We have describing an action and then how I felt about the action. So this one I think we'll leave. When we got home, I gave my dog a bath. What did my dog think about the bath? Was the bath enjoyable? Was it wild and wet and crazy? So let's highlight this one. Okay. Now we've picked out our simple sentences here, so we're going to rewrite. I'm going to rewrite our simple sentences here, adding our sentence branching. Now there are different strategies we can use when we do our sentence branching to add to our sentences. We don't always have to do the same thing. So the first strategy we can use, and we'll use it on our sentence, he was very happy, is to use a participle. So a participle is a verb or verbs that add meaning to a noun. So often they end with ed or ing if they're in the past tense. So yesterday I took my dog for a walk. He was very happy. In this case, I can add verbs that describe my dog at the beginning of my sentence. So these verbs, if the dog is very happy, often they're jumping and bounding. So that ing shows that it's a participle, right? So I can say jumping and maybe barking as well. We'll do that. Jumping and barking, comma. There's our comma when we use our sentence branching. He was very happy. Great, so already our paragraph has some more interest. So yesterday I took my dog for a walk. Jumping and bounding, he was very happy. Or jumping and barking, pardon me. Okay, the next sentence we have here, my dog jumped in all of the puddles we saw. So it's a little bit of a longer sentence. So our sentence branching in this case doesn't need to add a lot of words. Maybe just 1 or 2 words will work. So one strategy you can use with sentence branching is adding in a positive. So this is a noun that describes a noun that comes before it in a sentence. Okay, so if we want to describe something in the sentence, my dog jumped in all of the puddles we saw. Because this paragraph is kind of talking about my dog, I think maybe I want to describe my dog a little bit more. Now, I can do that with a noun in between 2 commas. So for instance, my dog, a poodle, jumped in all of the puddles we saw. Or I could say my dog, a puppy, jumped in all of the puddles we saw. So in this case, the word poodle or the word puppy are nouns that are describing the noun before it, which is dog. So let me write this down. My dog, oops, comma, here's our comma, so we're sentence branching. A poodle, another comma, so this is our branch here, and then we finish off the sentence. Jumped in all of the puddles we saw. Okay, so now we're adding even more rhythm to our paragraph. Yesterday, I took my dog for a walk. Jumping and barking, he was very happy. My dog, a poodle, jumped in all of the puddles we saw. Okay, the next sentence we're going to change here using branching is the weather was very nice. Now another strategy is called using absolutes. So an absolute is a noun, a person, place, or thing, paired with a verb ending in ing. So an example of an absolute is hands shaking or lips trembling. Okay, so you have your noun, hands, and your verb ending in ing. So an action ending in ing, like hands shaking. So here, the weather was very nice. We can add an absolute or two to describe the weather, which is the subject of this sentence. So why don't we add something at the beginning of the sentence? So what is an example of nice weather? Or the sun is shining, right? How else do we know the weather is nice? The birds are singing. So there we have example of absolutes. The sun is shining, our noun with our ing verb, or the birds, our noun, are singing, our verb, sing with the ing ending. So how about we say sun, oh, there we go, sun shining and birds singing. The weather was very nice. Now in this case, actually to make it a proper sentence, we'll say with the sun shining. With the sun shining and birds singing, the weather was very nice. So sometimes even when you're doing your editing, you just edit your edits, right? And that's okay. It's all a work in process. You want to see that sometimes the sentences aren't just perfect right when they go on the border on your paper. Okay, our last strategy here is to rearrange the adjectives in a sentence. And the sentence we're working on is when we got home, I gave my dog a bath. This doesn't have any adjectives in it yet, so we don't have anything that's being described. So how about we describe our bath? So what are some adjectives that describe a bath? Warm, soapy, wet, bubbly, right? So those are some adjectives. So I could say when we got home, I gave my dog a soapy, warm, bubbly bath, okay? How do we say soapy, long, warm bath? So we are still sentence branching here, adding some descriptive words in the middle of the sentence. Now to rearrange these, we just want to separate soapy, long, and warm. I forgot the word and here at the end of the list. So when we got home, I gave my dog a soapy, long, and warm bath. So we just need to break it up a little bit. So we could have bath come earlier in the sentence. When I got home, I gave my dog a warm bath that was long and soapy. Okay, so here we're rearranging it. I'll write it in a different color. When we got home, I gave my dog a long bath that was warm and Sophie. So there you go. This is how we use sentence branching to add interest and rhythm to our writing. Remember, you can use ing verbs to describe a noun. You can use a noun to describe another noun. Absolutes, right? Nouns and ing verbs. And then you can add adjectives and rearrange them. So this will add a different rhythm to your writing.